Hello guys, good day to all. This is Mr. Typhoon Padua, your senior typhoon specialist, returning to our tropical weather analysis. And this is for today, Thursday through Saturday, August 27 to 29, 2026. And this is our English version, brought to you by Typhoon 2000 and Naga College Foundation. We'd also like to thank our partners, Aboitiz Power, BBI Sustainability. If you're interested more about PPI, just click on the link here. And also the local government of Naga City, headed by our Honorable Mayor Lenny Rovedo and our Honorable Vice Mayor Gabi Bordado. Well, the quadruplets cyclones just diminished, and it's just one or all of them gone except for SAUDEL, or formerly Obet, which has entered briefly for 6 hours the other day. Okay, and then this system is expected to make landfall over the eastern coastal areas of Zhejiang province in eastern China within the next 24 hours. So those who are living along the coastal areas, please prepare for a possible punch from this typhoon force winds generated by SAUDEL. And Naga is already a remnant low over southern China, and other systems like Atsani is already absorbed in the circulation of SAUDEL. And right now we have another two tropical depressions that formed far away from the Philippines, east-northeast of Guam, over the middle of the Western Pacific. There's no threat to any landmass, but there are two systems, TD20W and TD21W. It's like twin systems, very close. 20W will be absorbed by this 21W. So let's proceed now to show to you the very latest on this very active August and July months of this 2026 season since 1971, based on what Wikipedia is saying right now. And because of this super El Nino, we might be having a maximum of more than 30 tropical cyclones this year. Within power, we're still waiting if it will reach the maximum, the highest of 33 that happened in 32 that happened in 1993. Okay, that was the highest so far before the last one in 1964, which has produced 31 within the PAR. So it depends. If the last quarter we are going to see cyclones forming within PAR, it could reach 30. But if not, it will be just around 20-ish number of tropical cyclones within PAR. So here's the latest global map from Cyclonic WX. If you are a weather geek, just check out cyclonicwx.com. It's a very good resource in their website, and you can support their site as well for continuing uploading of this data. And right now, again, the focus of formation are located over the whole of the Pacific Ocean, from the western, central, up to the eastern Pacific. And we have a lone one here, a tropical depression, 96L. It's moving over the open waters of the Atlantic, but it's not gonna create some noise. But we have to check it first. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. And just check out the latest from the National Hurricane Center on their forecast. But here, over the Pacific Ocean, oh boy, there are lots of them. It's like having a convention during this time of the super El Nino. First, we have to discuss the Eastern Pacific. We have 93E, 94E. That E stands for Eastern Pacific Ocean, and we have ICL here. Okay, and then it's just a depression, and the Energizer Lala. Okay, it's still there, approaching the international dateline. It could enter international dateline, but it's only a soft tropical storm with winds of 75 kph. If it's still a hurricane, it could become a typhoon, but it's not. It's only a TS, so it will remain a TS even if it crosses the international dateline into the Western Pacific. But the releasing of warnings will be turned over to Japan Meteorological Agency from the Central Pacific Basin, which has been issued by the Central Pacific Hurricane Center based in Hawaii. Okay, so that's Lala. It's going to die in the next 5 days. Let's see what will happen to that. And then here in the Western Pacific, it's so active. I'm gonna click now the Western Pacific. We have here 91W, which is now, by the way, TD21W. Okay, it has not yet been updated by the cyclonic WX, but later on it will become 21W. And we have here 20W, a weaker system. And we have here the long-traveled SAUDEL, which is expected to make landfall over Zhejiang province within the next 24 hours. So here is going to suffer some very strong winds around the category 1 strength, 120 to 150. And we have here the remnants of Naga just lingering over near Hong Kong. And it's not yet here, but there's a system forming here. Okay. And this is likely to become LPA 92W. And within the next 3 days, it could easily intensify into a tropical storm. And it might be named by Pag-asa as Pilandok. So we are now at letter P. It's just August, but we are now at letter P so fast. Okay? But the good news of this system, it will track towards the southern islands of Japan or towards the area of Taiwan once again. So what will be the effect directly to our country? None. But the southwest monsoon will again be the producer of rainfall across the western sections of Luzon, MiMaRoPa during the next 3 to 5 days. So we are going to monitor the monsoon effects from on our website as well, typhoon2000.ph. We are issuing graphical satellite analysis to show to you the effects of this southwest monsoon, which is expected to end by the end of September. And usually it extends until October 15. So we will wait and observe what will be the outcome of this southwest monsoon season, which has been very, very intense. Okay, so we have here the latest graph set that we issued late last night, and here's SAUDEL still at 160, but right now it's 140. It's currently located at this part. Okay, and then remnants of Naga, and this is 91W is now 21W. Okay, moving towards the north. And this is the potential LPA that is set to form within the next 48 hours. So this will be the one that will trigger again the enhancement of the southwest monsoon across the western sections of Luzon, including MiMaRoPa, and some portions of the Western Visayas, and that is areas of Antique. So please take all necessary precautions for another round of on and off rainfall from light to moderate to at times intense torrential rain due to a cloudburst from these severe thunderstorms. Now here's the fast animation from the University of Wisconsin Tropical Cyclone page, and there you go. The size of SAUDEL has just shrunk to 600 kilometers, and it's likely to make landfall over Zhejiang province, just like what I said earlier. And there's the remnants of Naga bringing high amounts of rainfall across Hong Kong. And this is now the next tropical cyclone that is expected to form within the next 3 days based on the most of the computer models actually. So this is going to become Pilandok within the next couple of days. And the southwest monsoon has begun to concentrate over Zambales and western Pangasinan, where 50 to 100 millimeters will be expected in the next couple of days, extending towards more portions of western Luzon. So here's the new tropical depression. This is 21W, and we have here the weaker system, 20W, and this 20W will be absorbed into the southern circulation of 21W. So it's going to become a part of 21W. So bye-bye for 20W the next couple of days. And let's move on. Here's the latest from the multi-tracks from typhoon2000.ph from our website. So SAUDEL, within the next 24 hours, will make landfall there. And this is the intensity of all Asian agencies monitoring this typhoon. The highest so far is still Hong Kong Observatory at almost around 145 kph. Okay. Oh no, it's actually this is a Korea data. It's not yet updated, so we are just focusing our wind speeds here. So we are not going to include this. Okay, I thought it was still at 95. Now, and this is the track from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center for 20W. It's just going to move towards the north, and it looks like, based on their analysis, it's going to become a separate system, not being absorbed by the 21W. So I hope my take is wrong or right. Depends. So this is not the latest one. Warning number 1 on 21W just a few minutes ago. 55 kph moving towards the north. And here's the track. Just imagine. So this system, which is much larger, will tag along 20W. So it depends on how strong the other one will be. If it weakens, it will be absorbed by this much larger 21W. But if it's defy the odds of being absorbed, it could remain as a separate vortex. So 20 and 21W is what we call as a twin cyclones right now. Okay, here's the latest from ZoomEarth.com. This is their latest 6-hourly satellite loop. It's still loading, and you can already observe here some light to moderate to at times intense or heavy rainfall across Zambales, Pangasinan, and Ilocos provinces, Ilocos region as well, and some over the mountainous areas of Cordillera administrative region, Baguio included, because of the return of the southwest monsoon. Manila, just little showers passing by, but still some sunshine in between. But for the next 3 days, heavy downpour will again return over the metropolis, so please take all necessary precautions. So here's the system that we are going to observe for possible formation of the next low pressure area to the east of northern Luzon, and this will again enhance the southwest monsoon as it moves towards the southern islands of Japan or towards the area of Taiwan. If it moves towards Taiwan, very intense rainfall of the southwest monsoon or Habagat will again affect Ilocos region and the western sections of central Luzon, including metropolitan Manila, and also Occidental Mindoro, parts of northern Palawan, and Western Visayas, Cuyo, and Sulu archipelagos as well. So that's the scenario. We are going to wait on the first update on this one, probably tomorrow or Saturday. We will be bringing you another update. If it intensifies tomorrow, we'll be issuing earlier, but if not, this coming Saturday. So let's move now to take a look at the latest forecast from the ECMWF model. So today, that's SAUDEL, the possible trough here, the formation of the next LPA, and here's the twin cyclones 20 and 21W. And if we move this tomorrow, Friday, we see SAUDEL making landfall, becoming a remnant typhoon over eastern China. And here's the next low pressure area east of extreme northern Luzon, developing as the southwest monsoon continues to pound western Luzon. And we have here tropical depression 21W, and you can see the based on the ECMWF, 20W is being absorbed already. It's currently here to the south, and on Saturday, August 29, 21W will become a tropical storm, moving more to the northwest. And we have here the new one becoming a tropical depression or even a tropical storm. It depends if the inner core is not yet acting up. It could become another monsoon depression, but look at the pool of the southwest monsoon again across the western sections of the country. And on a Sunday, August 30, it looks like it's now moving towards Taiwan area and probably over the Yama Island chain, Ishigaki-jima. And we have here still, likely this is the, that will become the remnants of SAUDEL. It's going to move southwest because of a ridge here over central China. So this is the scenario right now. This will be the scenario on Sunday, August 30th. Okay, and then the last day of the month of August, we have soon to be Pilandok moving closer towards the Yama and Ishigaki-jima Islands, and the southwest monsoon continuing to affect western Philippines. And we have another one here at the edge or the eastern edge of the trough or monsoon trough, another LPA forming near Guam. So it could be still continuing busy months because of this Super El Nino. First day of September, we have now the soon to become Pilandok exceeding the Philippine area of responsibility as it moves over Yayama Islands, and southwest monsoon continuing to affect western Philippines. We have here an active trough and another low pressure possible forming here northeast of Guam. And by the way, this is another system. It's let me see. Oh yes, this is formerly the 21W, weakening already into a low pressure system stationary over the open waters of the Western Pacific. So that's our 5-day forecast. Now let's move into uncertainty times. This is September 2. We have here Pilandok moving slowly over the Yama Island chain and another LPA over Guam. Southwest monsoon will continue. September 3, Pilandok will move accelerating northeastward towards Japan, and we have another one here developing west of Guam, and then all of a sudden it's going to dissipate because of maybe upwelling, because during Super El Nino upwelling are common here over the Western Pacific or the Philippine Sea. When we say upwelling, the colder waters are going up, okay? And then instead of warmer waters moving downwards to create more thunderstorms, it lessens the development of thunderstorms. So that's the very nice scenario during a Super El Nino, because the upwelling of the Philippine Sea is much greater. So when there's a super typhoon far away over the Western Pacific, once it reaches the Philippine area of responsibility, sometimes it weakens, and it sometimes maintaining its strength or weakening into a category 1 or even just a tropical storm. Okay, during the past we saw Super El Niños generates just tropical storm up to minimal typhoons here over the Philippines, but only a few made landfall. Okay, so during uncertain times, it's going to become much quieter, but there is still a possibility of a low pressure area forming here east of Taiwan. So as you can see, most of the formation of these cyclones are located at this area. Okay, so this is the area where most of them are developing right now because of the placement of the monsoon trough. So it's gonna be lucky for the Philippines, because once the development transfer here, let's hope and pray that most of them will move towards the north. Okay, so you see that going up, but we are on the uncertain times. And here there's another one, southwest monsoon still there during September 9 and 10, and it looks like on the edge of the forecast, the 14th day forecast, which is very highly uncertain, we have a tropical storm near Okinawa. So again, the formation is all here. So it's gonna be good for the Philippines. Actually, this southwest monsoon is a relief for us because it will have some accumulation of water over the dams, over the aquifer, groundwater, just in time for the arrival of the peak of this super El Nino. The peak months will be from October to March of 2027. So we will be seeing some decreasing amounts of rainfall. Here in Naga, we have only less than 120 millimeters for the whole month, and that's equal to 1 day in a single 24-hour event of the southwest monsoon over Metro Manila. So just imagine here in Naga, it's only 117, 114 millimeters. Okay, so we are below normal because usually in Naga is 200 or 200 plus millimeters every month, especially during August because of thunderstorms. But right now, we are devoid of that because of the super boy, okay, super El Nino. I just translate it into English, so it's super boy. Okay, so let's move now. Here's the rainfall accumulation forecast for the next 5 days, and it looks like, look at the western sections of Luzon, including Occidental Mindoro. Those are rainfall of 50 up to more than 100 millimeters. And then it will persist until the end of August into the first few days of September. Okay, if we continue into uncertain times, it looks like the southwest monsoon will start to weaken maybe after September 4, September 5. So we have another round of the monsoon rains. So please take all necessary precautions. Okay, those living along the near the river, okay, river banks and low-lying areas. It's sad to see those people suffering from these events. And here's the weather advisory number 19 from DOST Pagasa. And as you can see here, today until tomorrow noon, 50 to 100 millimeters on those areas that I have mentioned. And then by tomorrow noon until Saturday noon across more areas of Ilocos region, including the Cordillera Administrative region, might be affected as well. Look at this. Benguet and Zambales, Occidental Mindoro will get again more than 100 millimeters of rainfall. And on Saturday, and it's good, it's a weekend, it's going to continue to affect Benguet, Zambales, Bataan, Occidental Mindoro, and also the 50 to 100 millimeters will again return across parts of Central Luzon, including Metro Manila. Just post this video and you can see the name of the provinces here. So that's the scenario. And if you don't have any important appointments this weekend, just chillax at home and avoid the flooded areas of Metro Manila when we have the onslaught of this next southwest monsoon barrage. Okay, and for the wave heights, you know what this color means: 2 to 3 meters of wave heights. Again, the western sections in the West Philippine Sea will again experience wave heights of 2 to 3 meters. The rest is up to 2 meters. So this is due to the southwest monsoon. So you can see here, that's the 3 meter color, and the 2 meters, 1 to 2 meters here. It's gonna be rough and dangerous to small fishing vessels and small seacrafts. And for the latest from the Global Tropics Hazards Outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, issued yesterday, August 26, valid for the next 2 to 3 weeks, wherein the third week is uncertain times. Let's begin with week 2, September 2 to September 8. We have here more than 20 to more than 40% of a tropical cyclone formation, and this is now the formation of another cyclone east of the Philippines and near Guam, while very low amount of rainfall across Indonesia, Malaysia, and India because of the ongoing Super El Nino. Also, Mindanao, you can see Mindanao is affected of more than 50% below average rainfall, as well as southern and central Palawan, and also southern Visayas like Bohol, Okay, Cebu is also being affected by this below average rainfall. So this is now the effects of this upcoming Super El Nino. Actually, it's ongoing right now. And on week 3, which is highly uncertain, continued effects of below average rainfall over southern Philippines and Indonesia, Malaysia, into Sri Lanka and India as well. And more than 20% of the tropical cyclone formation still persist over the Micronesia and Marianas. Okay, so you can see the above average rainfall is stationary over the central and eastern Pacific, and that's what Superboy is producing at this point in time. Okay, so it's going to become the worst Super El Nino ever recorded since 1950s, since that's the start of the recording of the El Nino La Nina monitoring. Okay, now for the Pag-asa, we have here the tropical cyclone threat potential issued last Sunday. There's a new one later today, but we will discuss this on our next video. So we have here SAUDEL is still persisting, Gainari is gone, Atsani is gone, and this one is most likely is the new one, probably here, because during the creation of this Pag-asa threat potential, the models are still pointing here, but right now it's going to shift here, and that's the reason why by next week you can see this color here. So this is now Pilandok, the next TC, and then we have another one here over the West Philippine Sea. I think this will change because it's only currently close to Hong Kong. Remnants of SAUDEL by next week. So that's the forecast from DOST Pag-asa. This is highly uncertain. This is highly high. This is going to be a high probability, and this is at 50-50 chance of happening. So until the next update later today, we shall see if this TC threat potential will improve once again or will change. It will definitely change. Okay, so that ends our update for this week. This is for Thursday until Saturday, and we'll be back either tomorrow if Pilandok becomes a cyclone, or if not, this coming Saturday, because it will intensify. And the southwest monsoon again will affect Metro Manila, Western Luzon, Occidental Mindoro, parts of Palawan, Western Visayas this coming weekend, especially Saturday and Sunday. Again, please take all necessary precaution. Take care, guys, and stay safe always. Be #WeatherWiser, #TyphoonWiser, and thank you so much for watching our channel. God bless to all.